Hello, my fellow nature lovers. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm having an amazing day. Or, well, I drank a few beers yesterday, so I'm a little bit slow today, but I'm fine in general. I went to pick some chanterelles, beyond the point. In today's video, I wanted to talk about dying, death. Death is an illusion, and to truly grasp this, we gotta go into more details about it. Just not say that death is an illusion, because if I say that, people will be like, okay, well, people die everywhere, animals die, it's a circle of life. Yes, death is real, it happens, but what we think death is, like dying, is just our egos dying, the physical form dying, but what we truly are, our consciousness, the eternal awareness, God, or the source of creation, whatever you want to call it, that we all have in our hearts, that we can truly feel if we take huge doses of psychedelics or we do deep meditation, breathing techniques, or however you find it. If you've experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. Especially when you take huge doses of psychedelics. Even the ancient Greek philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Plato, Socrates, all these people, they went to a place. You should watch the Joe Rogan podcast with the new episode with Graham Hancock and another guy. They wrote a new book about the religion with no name. Basically, all the great philosophers of the Greeks and other people also, they went to a sacred place once in their life and they drank a special potion with like wine, goat cheese, and marley. I think it's called marley, yeah, and that's the rye grain things where ergot fungus grows, where you synthesize LSD from. So basically, they were tripping on the thing that we make LSD from now, then. And they were talking about you do it like once, you go take this potion and you're reborn. And all of those people say once you've done this, you no longer fear death. And basically, you die while you're still alive. That's like the best you can do in life. If you manage to die, if you manage to basically kill your ego while you're still alive, and that doesn't mean when you come back out of the trip, you're not going to be in your ego, because your ego will always be there, but you won't be identifying with it anymore. You will have this feeling, this knowingness of that you are more than just this image you have of yourself in your mind. You are existence, you are the source of creations that have been existing since beyond space and time. And you're reborn over and over again into different forms. And as a unity, as one in separate forms. And to explain this in words is really like a bit lackluster. It's truly something you gotta experience to know what I'm talking about. And it takes a huge dose of psychedelics, like alone in a room, to truly experience dying properly, or some DMT, or some deep Kundalini yoga, or whatever. There's a lot of ways to do it, but my favorite ways to do it is psychedelics. It's like people think nature is not communicating with us, but nature grows everywhere and it's communicating us through mushrooms, through psychedelic, all kind of psychedelic plants we have on the planet, the DMT bark, the DMT frogs. Like nature is literally talking to us. And the true God is nature, and we are nature. So if nature is communicating with us, basically God is communicating with us, and there's there's a reason why it's illegal to nature is illegal right now. They don't want us to find out the truth. But that's beyond this point. Dying is truly one of the most beautiful things that can happen while you're alive. You'll just feel more alive than ever. When I die, don't cry and blah blah blah. Just be happy and celebrate. Smoke a joint, and I'm an infinite being, I'm immortal. That's just how it is. And we all are. It's not just me. We are one and the same thing in different forms. But the thing is, like, even quantum physics now prove that death is not a real thing, because we are energy, if we're gonna be like scientific about it. We are the endless energy of that creates this whole universe, the consciousness that creates matter. And energy in quantum physics can never truly just die and disappear and be destroyed. It can only get transformed into other things. And that's what happens when we die, or when our ego dies while we're still alive. We get to touch, we get to feel what the afterlife is and see that there's more to life than just this experience here in this body with this ego. There's so much more to life than this. It happens over and over again. It's been happening for fucking, I don't know, forever. Time is just a thing in this physical realm. We've been living through this, let's say a million. I'm not even gonna put a time on it because it's not necessary. I just wanted to talk about truly being reborn while we're still alive. Walking Dead, you know? That's truly the things about that we have while we're still alive with these egos that we have. You're still gonna have the ego after you had the ego death when you come back, but you're gonna be able to reprogram it basically to work in your favor more. But after you felt the oneness, the inner peace, and the eternal love of creation, then like insecurities, fear of death, and fears of different things like the insecurities, indecisiveness, anger, guilt, all these things that is like self-doubt and self-pity and self-hate, we realize it's just in our minds, and our minds is just trapping us. Our true selves is in our hearts, and it's the eternal awareness of consciousness. It's the pure awareness, as Muji says. It's God within. We all have a piece of God trapped in our souls, in our hearts, in our soul. We just gotta awaken it, awaken to our true self, our true nature, and we are nature, and Mother Nature is God, basically. And we are not a separate thing from nature. That's the illusion of separation. We are one and the same with nature. We want to live in harmony with nature. We want to live in the ecosystem, not in the Babylon, in the matrix, in the cities, in an open prison like we do now. And once you get reborn and you truly get the taste, I'm not gonna be too much like the oneness, the being God, feeling how it feels to talk to God and talk to yourself, and understanding that's the same thing. These are things you truly gotta experience for yourself. Don't take my word for it, because my words are not nearly good enough information to describe to you how it feels to talk to God and realize that you're talking to yourself and the source of all creation, which is you and me and everything around us. So death is basically just, right now it's a trap. It's basically a money-making machine. They make people live in fear of death. So basically they're limiting their lives. And when you're in fear, you don't make decisions that truly help you grow. Like, of course, if you're in survival mode, everybody should watch this video on After School. New video on After School from, who was it? Dr. Joe Dispenza. They took a thing from Gaia where it's like, we have two kind of states we could be in, basically, to simplify it. We can be in creation mode when we are the divine, when we are in the source of creation, the divine, when we are basically one with God, if you want to put it like this, or survival mode. And then we're just looking for anything to scrap on, to survive on. This fear is just keeping us alive, and we're in this loop of surviving and like just surviving life and not creating life, not creating your life, just looking on how to survive in life. So that's a good watch. After School with Dr. Joe Dispenza. Rewired, I think it's called, on Gaia, if you want to check out Gaia. Death is an illusion. That's the meaning of what peace is. If we can truly grasp that dying is not as bad as it seems, it's only a new beginning, it's not the end. I can vouch for that, but don't take my word for it. Go beyond your egos. Blast off into the eternal consciousness of creation. The source, God, the divine, whatever you want to call it. There's so many words for it, and I truly love the word God, but there's also a lot of confusion that comes with the word God, like the man in the sky that we should fear is going to do this and that. No, nature is God, and we are nature. Nature is the source of creation. We are a part of the creation, and we can tap into the eternal consciousness of God, Mother Nature, the universe, whatever you want to call it, my friends, the light. Uh, and the ancient Greek people, they used to do this one time, like take this potion they talk about, they go do this rebirth, and then after that they tasted, they had the experience, and that's the big thing that they say is that they no longer fear death. They understand that it's not the end, and they've experienced death while alive. So that's where the true wisdom comes from, I think. I believe, at least. Once you've died and understood what that means truly, and not the illusion of what it means in today's society, we'll truly find peace within ourselves, because then all these insecurities and all these things we've built up in our minds of who we are, this image of self, this ego, is gonna dissolve, and you're gonna just feel the eternal love for yourself and the beautiful creation that we are, how magnificent it is to be alive and breathe, because it's fucking amazing. Life is truly a gift. Life can be a curse or a blessing, but it depends where you put your attention. Where you put your attention, that grows. That's my final words for this video. Death's an illusion, it's not that awful. Smoke weed and get high for me. I'm an infinite being, I'm immortal. Peace out.